In a nutshell, ITIL is a set of publications that describes best practices for IT service management, that is, how to provide quality IT services, including the processes, functions, and other capabilities needed. But ITIL is also a whole training, certification, and consulting industry based on those publications. And ITIL concepts are baked into and are the model behind many, if not most, IT service management tools, while many people involved in ITIL will never have seen the source ITIL publications. They will have taken an ITIL foundation course, an exam, and worked in organizations that have adopted and adapted ITIL practices and that use tools that leverage ITIL concepts, principles, models, and terminology. There are many approaches to service management, so what's unique about ITIL's approach? First and foremost, ITIL is ubiquitous, meaning you can find it everywhere. It's the most widely used approach to service management with over 2 million ITIL certified IT professionals, far exceeding other IT soft skill certifications, and you'll find ITIL in use by various organizations. It's especially prevalent in large enterprise IT shops and many small and medium shops, and it's written into all sorts of RFS and embedded in all sorts of IT tools. So it's vital to understand it so you can understand where other professionals, customers, and tools are coming from. Another thing that makes ITIL unique is that it's vendor neutral. This means it's not driven by and intertwined with any particular vendors, products, and technologies. It's meant to be abstracted from this and widely applicable on any platform or technology. This is important because without this, individual IT professionals and organizations must do the hard work of extrapolating standard best practices from vendor guidance with 100% assurance that what they develop will not match that of the next person or organization. ITIL is intended to be non-prescriptive, which means it is descriptive, describing what to do and why, and giving you an example of how that may or may not work for your situation, and not, as some people misinterpret it to do, prescribing precisely. You must do it this way. Often when people and organizations get into trouble with adopting and adapting ITIL, it's because they apply it dogmatically, treating the examples given as prescriptions indeed. If you see an example of what to do cited that works for you, it may make sense to leverage it. Still, the intended focus of ITIL is on getting the outcomes, the ends correct and clear, and not on prescribing 100% effective forever practices or the means. ITIL's practices are examples of what people do now that works. That may or may not work for you. Lastly, ITIL is intended to represent best practice. That means that ITIL guidance captures in essence what people do now that works. This means it's commonly accepted and implemented practice, not bleeding or leading edge practice. ITIL is represented as being written by practitioners for practitioners.